Welcome to Alias Teacher TV. This is a new lesson and it's telling you how to model a Volkswagen Beetle 1200. As you see here beside me, and there is an Alias SubD model underlying. So the complete car, with the exception of the wheels and the bumpers, is modeled in Alias SubD. And it's magic. It's magic because this is the car of my father when I was a child back in the 60s of the last century. But I don't want to tell you about that. What I want to tell you is how to use the Retopology tool to work on a scan or a low poly model. And it's amazingly fast how you can do this SubD. Alright, here is our scan. And I also switched on a helpful program called Spot on Mouse, which shows exactly which buttons I press, so you can easily follow what I'm doing. And I start with the Retopology tool and identify the scan and hit spacebar, and then system asks for another SubD, but I haven't got one, so another spacebar hit and you're ready to go. Now I hit some points, or positions and points, let's say, on top of the roof. So some of them maybe here, and to have quads I need some more on that side. And with Shift I can add the first patches here, then adjust, so I can adjust the points or adjust even an edge. So that's up to you how to do it. And with Shift I can add some more sections, and let's see what happens. It jumps up to the scan. So from the inside it jumps up to the roof, and that's exactly what I need. So with Shift middle mouse button I can extrude now towards the frame on the side, so one extrusion and another one closer to this, and then another intersection somewhere here, the edge loop, to have a nicer shape. And then I focus on a pillar where I want to go downward, so with Shift I extrude one piece here, one patch, and I add an additional point. With Shift I get the whole thing closed, and then this point maybe is a bit too far up there, so with Shift middle mouse button now I can extrude easily my A-pillar down here, and of course start to go around the corner. Oh, I added a point, so let's get rid of this one with Control left click, and so now I can drag this one, and that's fine in this area. And I focus on the C-pillar in the back, so we go there. And let's see how we can continue here. So I start the same principle with Shift. First piece, go out there, add a point, Shift, and add another patch. And with middle mouse button, I can extrude this part down here, 1, 2, and another one which goes straight down to the rear flap in this area. So with this one I go across to the middle, and then with Shift I drag downward step by step and leave out the handle here, because that can be done later on. So you see it snaps somehow on top of this, but I can just tear it down and get it to that lower area here. Now I have to connect everything and close the whole body there, the rear part, and I add some more points again. So I just have an idea, this comes around maybe like that with Shift, and then I add the next row maybe here with this, and so I need some more here to get everything closed. So this can be positioned in another way, like this maybe. So now it's fine, and I have that row here, and half of the roof, half of the rear flap is already done. So let's focus on the sidewall now. So first thing is just add some additional points again to create the patch layout. So like that probably, and have some more on towards the front and towards the rear. With Shift I put in my patches, and maybe extrude the one towards here, and extrude towards the front. And then go up a bit. We shift middle mouse button to get closer to the window frame. Here we don't care about the front end at the moment, so we focus just on the things around the two windows. And I'll subdivide a little bit. 1, 2, so corresponding is important. So easily I can connect with Shift. So everything's closed now. And now I have to connect the rest of it. So I just with Shift middle mouse button extrude this one a little bit. And so some points don't come across the frame here, so I drag them. Also here in the front it's a bit difficult, so it's hard for them because they snap somewhere else. They always snap on the scan, but sometimes you have to help them across some points here, so like that. And now I need some additional subdivisions, of course, here probably, and now I can drag out the B pillar. So 1, 2, 3, then go there probably, and subdivide this one, and subdivide it here, and put things on top. Or just with Control you can get rid of this one, and with Shift add another one which connects everything. So this is fine. Or here also, when there is one of them, I can delete it if I don't like it, so I can later on put some more in the middle. That's pretty easy to handle, to add points and delete and so on. You can see here this is really easy to do. And also here I need some additional subdivision to be able to close this here. So now it's connected. Front end, let's see that we do some additional make nice operations. So I go there and connect the A pillar, and then this one should go towards the front probably, so I can easily start to go up with this across the hood. So I go immediately to the middle of the car here, so like that. And then I close with Shift and connect the A pillar. So this is what I have now, and I go to the front with Shift middle mouse button like I did in the back, so that is pretty similar, so no problem with this. And maybe one more to be here. Oh, sorry, I have to go around the corner somehow, so probably that's better to do it like this. And then, as we did earlier, I put some additional points here. So first thing is the narrow one, then the bigger one, and of course in the middle the same. Topology and with Shift I can add. And so now an additional point here and here, so I get these ones. And to close this I do additional 2 points with Shift. So now everything is closed and I have the front end and the sidewall. Look, next on the list are fender and rocker. First I drag a little bit, and then with Shift I extrude the first piece here, 1, 2, like that, and add some points, and with Shift fill it with patches. Looks a bit weird here, but don't worry, it's no problem because I want to have a sharp edge later on. This doesn't make problems for sure. Oopsie-doopsie-doo, this is it. And there we got the rest. So first thing, then next one, fenders. Let's start with this one, maybe the one in the front, and leave out some points in between first, just to start easily. here, then up there. And let's fill them with patches. And I know, oh, I need some in between for example, so I can just snap that one already. And I know, I need an in between here too, so for sure that will make sense. And then increase here with Shift middle mouse button and drag it wherever I want it. So that's exactly what we're doing all the time now. So it's always the same somehow. So go across the light open and put it somewhere close to the frame here. Probably I subdivided here to get a nicer shape, also here. And probably also shape subdivision here and here. And now I can just put middle mouse button again and drag this one right here to the bottom. And now connecting it is easy because, as you remember earlier on, with Shift and left mouse button, I always can close these gaps. So I go there, have to drag probably a little bit, so then it's easier for the system to find the missing link. And it goes in between, does the patches which are missing. So rotating, and then, so you have to always have a view which is perpendicular somehow, otherwise it won't find the connection points. So you have to help the system always a bit. So probably here we need some other subdivision. I don't know, but yeah, that's it. And then it's fine, I think. All right. And here. So now it's closed. And at the bottom, connection to the rocker. And here we go. So it's pretty rough, of course, but that's the first approach, first few points. I can subdivide to get closer and closer to the scan, and also finish some of the missing pieces. So here, for example, I would add another part, of course, maybe drag or put this on top of the other one here, like that, and drag out some left, pick some points, and add to get everything nicely closed. And then the last thing which is missing is the fender in the back. I do it quite quickly, so without any command. It's the same procedure, of course. Alright, back from Spider-Man mode to normal mode, and last step in this video is the symmetry. So for symmetry, I have to check if I'm in the middle of the car somehow. I'm not, as far as I can see. So I drag a little bit and I switch on the grid to be able to see where the x-axis approximately could be. And then I jump out of the Retopology tool. I pick all the CVs in that center section and I snap them to ZX plane, which is the main trick in Alias with Alt key and right mouse button. And of course you have to say move before. Now, after this, I switch off the scan. I pick my SubD, and I go to Duplicate Mirror. I have the car left and right. Now I have to glue it together in the middle. You see it's kind of sharp edge in the middle, but we don't want to have that, of course. So I go there and I go to a weld command, which is weld to tolerance. Now this weld to tolerance, as you have seen now, glues it together, not sharp anymore. With this, I can continue, but there's a little trick which helps a lot. It could be just better to pick the edge loop in the middle and delete it simply, because then you get a flat surface in the middle and accelerating towards the frame on the side. That concludes the first part of modeling a Volkswagen Beetle. And watch out for part 2, because then I will show you how to fine-tune your model and how to do the windows with glass and everything and window frame and have more nicer details on your Volkswagen. So this is coming soon. Thank you for watching and see you then.